As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to
Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
So we're back. It's a brand new week. We got some things that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a GravePlots for you, so we hope that it'll be enjoyable. If you guys don't know what that is, we make up movies on the spot, pulling a name out of a hat, essentially, or as we like to call it, a crystal skull with diamond eyes. That's worth $8 billion. It's priceless, practically. So, but yeah, you're going to want to stick around for that. We don't know what the name of the episode is going to be called yet because we haven't done it yet. So, but how have you been, Brittany?
Good.
Yeah? Did you have a good week?
Yes.
I was seeing a little hesitant there.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, wait. What's going on?
A good week.
Anything good happen or?
No.
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 Nope, absolutely not. Thanks for bringing it up, Alex.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, no, it's been fine. It's just normal for me, so work. Stressful because we're moving offices, so.
Oh, yeah. That sucks.
We think we're moving offices, and
you're not sure.
I don't fucking know what I'm going to walk into.
Right. Well,
whatever.
I added streaming, obviously, we've talked about that, to the busy schedule that I already had for my free time, pretty much. And I added another day now, so I'm doing it like 3 days a week. So I did it on Wednesday during the day. So I've been doing all my work ahead of time so that I can kind of sneak another day in there. So, but it's still fun. Like, I enjoy. I'm playing games, and hanging out with friends. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's stressful. It's just trying to get that, balance of everything done that kind of sucks. So, for all of you busy motherfuckers out there, I think that we should probably kick off this motherfucker real hard by drinking a fucking crazy drink. What do you say?
I'm ready.
Let's do this shit!
Do this shit!
Horse shots! We're going to be doing 2 movies this Thursday where we talk about corporate chaos. On Thursday, we will be talking about the Belko Experiment and
Mayhem,
which are 2 corporate chaos movies. But we usually like to pick one movie, not necessarily because it's our favorite or anything, so don't make assumptions, but because it just kind of works. So in the movie, the Belko Experiment, one of the people in the building starts accusing the water of making them being paranoid, when really he's just a pothead who's freaking out in a really shitty situation. And that's Sean Gunn, and his name is Marty in the thing. So we thought of a couple of different names that we would try to do, and I think we decided on a corporate Mickey, which is like someone slipping you Mickey in your drink supply somehow, which is actually a thing. Like, this is like, there is like actual historical stuff where the military has tried to introduce acid in the drinking water supply for whatever reason, because they thought it was a more humane way to approach war than to like kill people, because all the buildings would be intact. It's interesting. But anyway, we thought it'd be interesting to call it this, or I thought it would be interesting. I did. I think I asked Brittany, and she was like, yeah, whatever.
That's exactly what happened.
So
I was like, what about a corporate Mickey? I'm all, sure.
In order to do this drink, we had to do clear liquids because we don't want, it's got to be like water, right?
Clear liquids, my favorite. Not.
So instead of putting acid in the water, we decided that we would...
We couldn't get acid on such short notice.
We figured we might try something so that we would actually be able to have the second episode.
We just couldn't get it on short notice.
So we got 3 ingredients here. We've got vodka, triple sec, and 99 bananas. So these 3 ingredients are going to make a corporate Mickey. So you're going to want to put basically 3 parts of each into a shot glass. Oh.
Or onto your shorts.
Or just piss on your leg. That's neat.
That's neat.
Here's one for you. I'm shaky again. I don't know what it is. Why my arm does that. Definitely not a surgeon. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cheers, Brittany. Old shaky legs. It's an orgy of flavor.
I spilled it all down my shirt.
Oh, you drink it really slow, too.
It tastes like
Okay, now I'm feeling the vodka after it. It mostly tastes like banana, guys.
Yeah, all I taste is banana.
I taste a little triple sec, but kind of made my hair stand up. Look at that.
Alex has goose pimples.
And I got diamond
hard
nips.
nipples.
Diamond nips.
You don't want Alex to
Does anybody want
break into a building because he can cut the glass.
Yeah,
real quick.
just spin me around.
Ew.
Just put a suction cup on my chest and spin me around. Let my flip-flap scrape the window.
My flip-flaps. My flippy floopies.
But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. If you want a stronger shot, you're definitely gonna feel this one because it's like taking a shot and a half because 99 bananas. Yeah, if you want to kind of cut back on the banana, you might want to use some of the other. This because the banana is really strong, but it cuts through anything. So, but if you would like to try out a corporate Mickey and slip one to your friends and family at work, all you have to do is go to longlivethevoid.com and check out our hashtag horror shots now. But that's it for horror shots. This just in, we've got some fresh, hot, serious horror news that come out of
It's the fucking news! Here is the fucking news!
We got some releases that we're going to name off, just a few things that we thought that maybe the community might be interested in. One of them being the new remake to Inside.
Boo.
Which is like, why?
Why?
At least it's like, I don't know, years later. At the very least, it's so many years later. It's not like Quarantine coming out, which is Record, which is a fucking phenomenal fucking movie. It's one of the best, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of the best found footage films. In my opinion, it's got demons and like sort of like zombie type shit. It's weird. It's fucking weird. But there is Inside coming out, and I know some of you guys probably take a little bit more risk with them. I'm really just going to wait till it hits like one of the free streaming services, or not the free one, but like Netflix, Amazon, or one of those, and just watch it there. I don't really need to see a recreation of Inside. I loved it to begin with. So.
Boo. Sorry, it pisses me off. Like, why? Leave the fucking movie alone.
It has already come out for you guys on VOD last Friday. So you can check that out if you want to on any of the digital stuff. I don't know if it's out on Blu-ray yet, but it is at least on VOD. Also, Alter Carbon hits Netflix February 2nd, where it's about a bunch of people. There's been doing some really weird advertising of people in these like little packages, kind of like, oh, well, I'm just going to put my brain in this body kind of thing. You know, like, oh, I would like that one.
I'm just going to put my brain in this body.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. It looks like prepackaged people. It's kind of interesting. It's a sci-fi horror kind of dystopian future. It kind of is probably going to play on like, you know, where we're headed, you know, because we live online pretty much now and we're separating from reality essentially. Right. So it's interesting to me. I feel like Netflix does a lot of sci-fi. Yeah. Like they love sci-fi.
Yeah, and they do it pretty fucking well.
I think I'm not saying that them alone are doing a good justice to sci-fi, but they are definitely making a huge impact because they're putting out good sci-fi.
Yeah, have you seen what happened to Monday? It's dope.
Monday?
Whatever happened to Monday?
Mm-mm.
It's so good. You should watch it.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah, no.
Watch it.
They've been popping out all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's like every day I fucking go on Netflix and there's a new fucking release.
Right,
so.
yeah. Hey, look, check out these 17 fucking shows that we just put up over this week.
Yeah, well, it's these new movies that they released that they did or shows or whatever. And, like, now they have this, The End of the Fucking World, which, like, I really want to watch. So
me and Christina watched, like, 3 or 4 episodes, yeah.
It's next on my list.
It's not going to continue after this, so that's what I've heard.
Oh, it's, like, just a miniseries?
It's just one season. Pop. Done.
Lame.
Right. Well, what do you want?
More. What do I want it? Now.
What was the other release that you were talking about?
So Orion Pictures has officially nabbed the zombie holiday musical Anna and the Apocalypse.
Called it.
If you guys and if you guys go back to our New Year's episode, Alex actually said specifically that they were just waiting for someone to pick it up.
Yeah, I didn't know for sure, but I just assumed that because they didn't get picked up for the holidays, that they didn't get a distribution for it, but Orion already did. So.
Yeah, so which
Belko Experiment, by the way, is our Orion, I believe, too.
So Orion Pictures picked up the movie for North and Latin America and is planning, obviously, for a holiday 2018 release. If you're not familiar with the movie, I'll give you a little bit of an insight on it.
Okay.
The feature takes place in Little Haven on Christmas as a zombie apocalypse threatens the sleepy town, forcing Anna and her high school friends to fight, sing, and slash their way to survival with a fast-spreading undead horde in relentless pursuit.
Zombie musical, guys. I know it sounds like...
I'm so excited. I don't care. It's a horror
really want to
musical.
see it, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of musicals, so...
Neither am I.
At all, but there's a handful that I really like. But
I grew up with a lot of musicals when I was a kid.
I'm way into the whole zombie... I love the whole, like, horror comedy mixture, and I really like how they're doing...
Yeah, and it's gory.
The zombie movies specifically, because Zombieland was fantastic. I also really enjoyed A Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like, obviously, and everybody loves fucking Evil Dead and things like that. I feel like the zombie genre is kind of like an easy out.
Right. Well, I mean,
do a horror comedy.
Sure. If you're going to do a musical, though, do something that's interesting.
And that's interesting.
Right.
So
yeah,
I'm into it.
I don't know how good it's going to be. I've kind of read a little bit of the reviews, and there was kind of a lot of people on the fence with it.
I've read really good things
I've read really good things and bad things, too, but, you know.
Yeah, well, it's probably people who hate musicals.
Right.
Like, fuck
probably
this.
that, too.
So,
but South Park was a musical, the movie.
Yeah, and it was great.
And it won awards.
So, we shall see. This will probably be one of our holiday movies that we'll do this year.
Maybe, yeah.
Later on. So
I want to see it. So.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to check it out, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think you want to see it? Would you watch a gory zombie musical? Or would you not? And why?
Or would you not?
It looks like in the news, the third Alien prequel might not actually happen now.
Womp womp.
Which is not very surprising, considering the acquisition of 20th Century Fox by Disney. Now, the weird thing is that the article that I read about this whole situation, and one of the directors that was going to be attached to this film is them saying, well, Disney's a very family-friendly thing, but if I remember correctly, they've recently come out and said that they wouldn't fuck with Deadpool and that they would let it be rated R because it did so well. This is a new stepping stone for Disney. Can they handle doing an R rating for a movie instead of a PG-13 because they're notorious for doing PG-13 or, to G. Yeah. Not so much porn.
Not so much.
I'm sorry.
Not willingly.
Yeah.
I don't willingly go the porn route.
And by the way, guys, I don't know if you've heard the episode on last week on Thursday and you haven't written back yet because we're recording this the day that episode aired. Let us know if you still think we should do
please
porn parodies.
We should.
Horror porn parodies. I really, really am curious if that would be too offensive or just enough.
Be on my side.
It's not about being on a side. I'm for it. I just want some reaction.
Be on my side.
I'm down to do it. Everybody we talked about it.
Yes. Yes, porn parodies.
But to give you an idea kind of what happened, it's they said that 20th Century Fox had pulled the plug on Ridley Scott's Alien Awakening, which is the third prequel. The tentatively titled third film, that's what they called it, tentatively. But it wasn't surprising considering that they had a really bad kind of performance in the box office with Covenant, which I didn't think was too bad because at least it showed aliens in it this time, and it, in my opinion, was like kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't think Disney's going to hold it back. If they're not going to, from what I remember, and I'm not, don't quote me here, but I'm pretty sure that Disney is okay with doing R now because they're buying on these franchises that depend on it.
Fucking better be.
Well, Logan and fucking Deadpool, what the fuck are they doing? So, and apparently it looks like it's going through the director of all the money in the world. He said to Digital Spy that it looks like to me that Fox deal is certainly going to go ahead with Disney, and I've been with Fox for a number of years now. So, what do you guys think? He also said, I think they should, because when people have a hard, fast franchise which has ongoing interest, it's crazy not to do something with it. So they may still do something with it, but to be honest, Ridley Scott talking about that he doesn't want aliens in the franchise anymore, just to me is like, what are you doing? Yeah, calm down, George Lucas. You don't need to fucking, like, redo everything and start altering the fucking shit that we already like. Just, like, to me, it's a no-brainer, but in the same respect, why don't you just start a new franchise with other aliens?
Right.
Like, if you really love that, I mean, I understand it's your baby, but it just seems like very, like, everybody loves this shit. Why are you going against the grain? Just do aliens.
Why are you trying to piss everybody off?
Anyway, what do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below. Also, we got a sequel for Tales from the Hood that will be coming out. It is all but confirmed, pretty much. Basically, a lot of people are saying that because of Jordan Peele's Get Out, that a lot of studios have been racing to make their own socially aware genre films or social commentary films, you know? Probably most will be shit because they're trying to, like,
Ride the coattails of Get
synthetically
Out.
make something that happened naturally. But Rusty Cundiff's 1995 Tales from the Hood was actually pretty ahead of its time, and it did like the Tales from the Crypt thing, which was really cool, and I actually do like it. I still haven't picked it up yet. But Rusty said, in New Orleans, location scouting for Tales from the Hood 2. This is part of Anne Rice's old home where she held her Lestat parties. Yep. So that's the guy who, you know, I mean, it seems like it's all but true. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Are you guys excited about seeing a Tales from the Hood 2? I personally love short stories and short movies and stuff like that you can combine into one. They're not all good, but you get one or two that are really good, and it's just fun. It's fun to go in saying, hey, I'm going to watch 3 different ideas in this one movie. So with like maybe some B-roll in between. What else did you have, Brittany?
So to continue touching on our nostalgic nerves here, I do have Critters is going to have a new binge TV series coming out on its way from producers of the original.
Right. Which
is interesting.
I think it's cool.
So there's going to be a Critters TV series in the works called Critter, a new binge. And it's supposed to be hitting Verizon's Go 90 in the future, whatever the fuck that is. I have no idea.
They're trying to push this like mobile app that's called Go 90. I've had it. I think the comic book girl used it, and she was sponsored by them for a little while.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to get like some new hot stuff in there to try to push, because everybody wants to do their own app, right?
Right. So the series begins production in early 2018, and just a general synopsis of the idea of what they're going to do for it is the critters return to Earth in search of one of their kin who was left behind years ago during an earlier mission. They land in Burbank, California, where they wreak havoc on a group of high schoolers and their families. Boom.
I think it could be fun.
It's going to be fun,
If it tries to do it a little bit over the top, I don't know. Like,
we'll see.
The series is pretty over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know,
I'm not worried
the
about
first one's a little bit scarier than the rest, but the rest are pretty Leprechaun in space, if you ask me.
Right.
They did a Critters 4 in space, so which we've never done the Critters series, by the way.
Really?
No, nor the Leprechaun, nor Troll, nor none of that. So we might have to do it.
Yes.
Also, if you gaming fans out there, if you ever remember a sweary game called Deadly Premonition, it was a game that was a lot of people called a Twin Peaks video game, made by a Japanese programmer named Swery, who is a kind of eccentric individual who's made other games like D4 and quite a few others. I actually own like quite a few of them. They're really weird, and some of them are a little sexist, although I don't think that he's inherently sexist or anything like that. He's just a quirky, weird guy that thinks about these weird things like David Lynch does. But if you played this game, the dialogue is almost just like Twin Peaks, and he says that he never heard of it before he made this game. So I have a hard time believing that because they're both eccentric individuals, but they've got a board game that's coming out that it's going to be coming out January 31st, and they actually had a Kickstarter for it that I had no clue about it. But if you gaming fans out there have not played this game, there's two different versions. You can get a $30 version, which is just the base game, or you can get the $60 version, which will give you the soundtrack, a copy of the game on PC, or I don't know if it's on every platform, but you will get a copy of the game and a bunch of extra stuff like posters and all this other stuff. Kind of leaning towards getting a $60 version just because I'm kind of getting into games again, board games and stuff like that. So I don't know. Would you guys buy it? Are you interested? Have you ever heard of Deadly Premonition? If you haven't, I actually have some video gameplay of me playing it from like a year or two ago. So if you want to check that out, I'll post it in the link below. Also, another thing that's been talked about quite frequently lately is the new X-Men movie that's called The New Mutants. You've been hearing about that, right?
Yep.
A lot of people are really super excited about it. And it seems like the trailer was decent. I didn't really get too overzealous about it, but it looked dark and it kind of like felt like a horror movie in a way. Darker than more X-Men stuff is. Mm-hmm. So, hate to tell you guys, and if you haven't heard this already, The New Mutants has been bumped until 2019. Originally, it was set for release on April 13th, 2018, and it got pushed to February 22nd, 2019. So,
womp womp.
Suck my balls, but it's almost definitely has to do with that 20th Century Fox.
Definitely, almost definitely.
Disney, yeah, almost, I would say definitely has to do with it. I think that they're kind of up in the air, and I'm a little worried that they're not going to keep the R rating, but in some regards, they said that they wouldn't touch it on Twitter recently about the Deadpool thing, so they better not. Keep it cool, man. Don't do PG-13, I understand, but kids these days at 13 are watching horror all the fucking time. They're watching it on their fucking internet. You're not changing their minds. Parents should be responsible for what their kids watch. End of story. They should be there to monitor it. If they so feel that they can watch it, they should watch it ahead of time. They should do whatever it is that they think a good parent should do. Yes, I understand that kids don't watch everything their parents tell them to watch. They watch things on their own because of the internet, right? But come on, dude. Don't fuck this shit up. Everyone that's a fan of all that old stuff wants to see the way it was.
Right.
Wants to see darker shit, man. That's like, we can't lose it now. If Disney does that, I'm gonna hate them. Like, I'm going to hate them with a passion.
They're gonna do it.
If they start fucking with like the stuff that's actually finally working, then other studios are just gonna come up and they're gonna be back in the fucking, oh, it's pretty land, it's happy everything.
Happy little elf. Rainbows and
butterflies. Go fuck yourself. Anyway.
Eat a dick, Mickey.
Yeah. Suck a dick.
Choke.
Did you have anything else? Did you have one more thing?
Yeah, I do. Ending our news coverage here.
Yes.
I have this fun little bitty here about the world's first Saw-themed escape experience set to open in, of course, Las Vegas.
Nice.
So,
I heard about this, but I didn't see
Jason Egan, the man behind the Las Vegas yearly and top-ranked haunted attraction Fright Dome, which is pretty dope, has partnered with Lionsgate to bring to life a year-round immersive escape experience based on the Saw franchise, with its grisly doors set to open this month. So keep your eyes peeled for the official inauguration of the attraction.
Okay.
It is supposed to open this month, and we shall see. Fright Dome's really cool, too.
I haven't actually dealt with it. I haven't done
It's
that.
at Circus.
Las Vegas!
Yeah.
I used to sell trips to Laughlin for the Edgewater Casino in Laughlin, which is like the old people's Vegas, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And I used to walk into stores and be like, Circus, Las Vegas, Edgewater Casino in Laughlin. Like that. No fucking fucks ever given.
Jesus.
like ever. And I walked in there proudly. I was like, that took a lot of balls to do that sometimes. I used to fuck with people. I used to walk into their business and sit down, and when they would ask me if I needed anything, I'd just be like, no, I'm good, thanks. And I would just sit there and wait for them to kind of get weird. And then I would be like, circus, Las Vegas, that's what... Anyway. But yeah, I don't know.
You're the kind of person I hit the panic button for.
Yeah, well, I got spit on. I got thrown up against the wall. I got a guy robbed a liquor store.
Blamed it on you?
No, he robbed a liquor store and tried to run out with all these bottles, and he was bleeding down the street because of the bottles. He fell, and he was trying to carry the bottles, and they cut his hands up and his side, and he was like dripping blood, and he just like was like walked up to me, and I was like, I didn't know what to do at first because I was like, okay, if I run, what if he just like gets the idea to attack me? So I'm gonna stand my fucking ground.
My brain's like, hepatitis!
And I know, and I was like, what if a piece of blood got in my mouth?
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is how zombie apocalypses happen. Y'all seen 28 Days Later?
Yeah, I mean...
This is how I die.
Here's something I want to mention about Saul. Sorry to go off the beaten path there a little bit. A lot. But is Saul... Are they just trying to push Saul to make more movies? Are they just like continuous?
They're supposed to be done. This last movie is supposed to be it, right?
Well, why would they be pushing this thing?
Because it's a big franchise. It's made a lot of fucking money.
I get that, but it just seems a little odd. It seems like something you would do to promote something.
I don't know. Maybe. They said supposedly this last movie is the last one, but they always fucking say that. And then like 2 years later...
it's the last one. Kind of like Ministry when they go on tour.
Yeah. Or
it's our last show. It's our last show. It's our last show.
Cher's done
If you say it's my last show again, I will...
fucking kill you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But then everyone still buys tickets and goes.
Right.
So Cher's done it like 100 times.
They're like...
Every Cher show is the last show.
Yeah, they get stir crazy, and then they're like, fuck, man, I can't sit here and do this. I'm not old. I'm fucking young.
Yeah. Back on tour we go!
Yeah, here we go!
For the final tour!
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not!
Yeah, break out the wheelchair. Let's do this. Get some strings!
Yeah, they're gonna be fucking geriatric as fuck, and like, it's gonna be,
Do you believe in
yeah.
love?
Be like, I didn't like you when you were good.
Anyway, guys, that's it for the news! All right, guys, so now it's time for us to step into the wonderland that is
GravePlots.
If you're not sure what that is, that's where we reach into a crystal skull with diamond eyes.
AKA our butts.
And pull out, yeah, AKA our butts, yeah. And pull out a movie name that we made up. I don't know why this accent's come out. It's a bad one. But we pull a name out of a hat of a name that we made up on the spot, and then we try to make a story about it. So we'll tell you how it works right after this jingle. All right, Brittany, so we're back. Are you excited?
Woo!
Dude, I'm so excited my ears are bleeding after you yelled.
After I screamed, yeah. That'll do it. That'll do.
So wait, did I pull last time?
Yes, you did.
I did. I swear to God, if it's one of yours, I quit. I should just put mine in there and just tell everybody it's yours.
You can't quit.
Yours in there. I quit.
You can't quit. You're not allowed to.
Better be mine.
I didn't look at it.
You
so.
fucking, you know what it feels like, though. You're
No,
fucking.
I don't.
That's what you were doing the whole time when you were writing them down. You were just like, I want just remember this one has a sharp edge.
What does this feel?
You feel around for it. You dirty bitch.
What the fuck?
What is it? Is it mine?
Yeah. Ah! I thought it was mine at
I hope it's
first,
a good
and
one.
I was
Jesus,
gonna laugh.
I didn't care about
If
it.
it's not, can we do another one? It's the meat solution.
Well, this obviously is a porno. I mean, if you think about it.
So the cure to the zombie apocalypse is dick.
Well, it doesn't have to be dick. I mean, it could be clam.
Could be pussy.
See what I mean? There's meat on both ends. The meat solution.
I like how it's like sequel crossed out.
What if it's just
The
some
meat
crazy
solution.
guy that like goes out and kills people? Oh shit! I'm not supposed to say. So, Brittany, what is the meat solution?
Where my brain's going with this, the meat solution.
Yeah. So it's a porn, right?
Can I do a porn?
I mean, let's see how the
Well,
thing
I
does.
was thinking more like, what is it?
I mean, it could be sexual. I don't care about that.
Well, what is it? What is it? What the?
I just want to like describe people banging and shit.
What is the fucking shit called where they drink the water, the juice or whatever, the Jones,
Kool-Aid?
the Kool-Aid? Yeah.
Oh.
What the fuck is that called? Why is it escaping my brain right now?
Well, it's the I just call it drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's from
Jim Jones?
Jim Jones.
James Warren Jones was an American religious leader who initiated and was responsible for mass
Jonestown.
suicide in Jonestown,
That's it.
Guyana.
Jonestown.
He believed in communism was the correct social order in compliance with God's will, and also enjoyed Kool-Aid. I made that all
poisoning
up
it.
off the top of my head.
Yeah. So that's where my brain's going, is to like a Jonestown type situation. Where
Okay.
you've got this it's a small town and this like corrupt fucking leader who wants to try and control all the people in his city, maybe keep them under his thumb, essentially. So he poisons their meat supply.
Their meat supply. Well, wouldn't they be like? I would assume that like people in a cult these days would probably be vegan,
Vegans.
right? Am I wrong?
I almost did a fucking movie title or something about vegans.
So funny that when I wrote that, when I was thinking like, what if the meat solution
That could be the
is
solution,
a vegetarian
is
thing?
to be a vegan.
Right. But there is movies out there that they have done where like they try to trick vegans by eating real meat.
Yeah, my idea was, but I'm a vegan.
That's,
I almost put it.
that was the fucking name of the movie?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I kind of want to put it in there still.
But I'm a vegan. So suck on this dick. No, I'm just kidding.
Bitch.
Yeah. That's what it seems like, right? Like, what is she talking about? Like, do you want to murder this puppy with me? But I'm a vegan.
Can't murder a puppy.
I guess I could go that way.
I don't know. Do you hate that?
No, I mean, I'm open to it. I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe we could do a culty thing. And we have done one cult movie, but it was way, way different. It was like blood gods and shit like that. It was pretty weird. It was pretty out there.
Sweet.
Okay, so maybe there is this sort
Or
of...
maybe he unleashes this like fucking virus or something on his townspeople or his cult followers. Who is he going to be? Is he going to be like a fucking mayor or whatever of
Well,
the
what if
city,
it's
or
like a
should he
cult
just be a
that's
cult
like...
leader?
What if it's like a cult and they come up with another solution for meat instead of it because they're vegan, right? But this meat is some sort of... There's something wrong with it, and there's something that causes problems. And it's really not a solution to meat. It's really something that causes something to happen, like some sort of situation. I don't want to say zombies, because that's just
I don't want it to be zombie.
way too overdone.
That's what I'm trying to stay away from too.
Right.
I don't want it to be.
But
a
what
zombie
if people get like really into it and like people quit eating meat and it's like this positive message at first, but then something happens and they...
It's like Mad Cow, but for vegans.
Right. What if it could be, maybe it's not a cult. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's like some sort of like government thing, or,
I think it would be cool to just have
like a scientist group.
like a corrupt mayor of a small town.
Well, maybe the
wants to
scientist comes up with some alternative meat that they're able to synthetically produce that is nothing to do with animals whatsoever, and it causes some sort of like fucked up shit to happen. I don't want to do any kind of things with mutations or anything.
Damn it,
We've done that.
deformities.
We've done that like twice.
How about they just like, what would it make them do?
I mean, it could just make them crazy. Like, have you ever seen I Drink Your Blood? And they become like ravenous because like one of the kids, he like goes out and finds a dead dog laying on the ground, and he takes a syringe and sticks it in its body. After, I think he kills it, I can't remember, but it's like a rabid dog, and he like sticks a syringe in its blood and then sucks it up and then puts it in the meat pies that he feeds to these it's a fucking great movie though.
What?
It's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. We should do that.
We should do that.
We should do I Drink Your Blood and something I Eat Your Skin.
Awesome.
That would be a good match.
Are sequels or what? Are they the same?
No, it's just that era.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but he puts the rabid dog stuff in the meat pies, and it causes people to go crazy and ravenous, and they start feeding on and eating people and going crazy and shit.
Oh, we gave them all
hydrophobia.
rabies.
Essentially, yeah. But it's cool as shit. Like, people go, it's fucking crazy. And it has to do with hippies who are in a cult, by the way.
Oh,
So that's what I'm saying. We could do scientists. Maybe they do some sort of manufacturing or something that causes them to, like, the synthetic, they sort of, like, skip over some things to, like, cover it up for this, you know, whatever regulations that they have on food, like the, you know, Food and Drug Administration or whatever doesn't see it. And they are able to pass all these tests and everything's fine, but then they introduce it to kind of make it grow faster so that they can do it.
Or they could be saying this, and in the end, it's actually just humans.
Right. Well, it could be just scientists that work for a corporation, and the Food and Drug Administration don't, you know, it goes through all the testing and everything like that.
Yeah, but they're actually just eating humans instead of synthetic meat in the end. Boom, boom, boom.
But yeah, but they kind of...
Then everybody's a cannibal.
Yeah, but I feel like it needs to do something a little bit
And
more.
They find out, and then they go crazy, and then they kill all the scientists.
Maybe they just, like... I don't want to say mutate, like, because we had one where they, like, turned into, like, creatures and started sloshing together and creating other animals and stuff, and, like, it was really out there. And then we had the blood god thing with the cult, but maybe these scientists do this and they... What would be another way that we could describe, like, catastrophic event that would almost be like chemical warfare in a way?
This event is causing them to do this?
Well, no, because it's a craze.
Or this event happens because...
It's a craze. Like, they actually make it an addictive food that is not... It tastes better than meat. And people who are meat eaters prefer it over killing animals now. So, like, farms are dying, and maybe farms introduce some sort of fucking crazy enzyme into the meat, the fake meat, that the meat solution that they're making, whatever it is, that's plant-based, and they introduce some sort of thing into some pesticide or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're the culprits, actually, that fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah, so that people, like... But then they're stupid because they just killed off all their customers, too. So
yeah, I don't know if that would work.
That's kind of interesting, though, right? I mean, like, would you be... We could just say some crazy guy lost his farm or something like that, and he couldn't afford it anymore, so he just had to
He went bankrupt, and
So he
lost
went
his
crazy.
childhood home and business.
Yeah, so like 20 years later, everybody's eating this meat, and it's like everybody buys it. They buy it from this one company. They become like bigger than any corporation in the world because it's just racking up the money. It's cheaper than beef, but they're selling it like crazy. Everybody's eating it in every fucking meal now. Mm-hmm. Tastes like sadness. I'm just kidding.
Why would you eat it?
Did you ever see? No. There was a fucking TV show called Ted. Or something like that, where they work in the back end of a food thing or whatever, and they're trying to create that meat, the fake meat, and the one guy cuts into it, and he was like, they're like, how's it taste? And he's like, it tastes like sadness and regret.
Oh, Jesus. That's what our shots taste like.
Yeah, and depression.
Our shots taste like regret.
Anyway, so like one of these guys goes crazy. Somehow he's some sort of scientist. He was like trying to beef up beef, basically, and like somehow he, through his own process, figured out a way to make the pesticides.
He got a job and worked on the inside.
Yeah, because the
That's
way
how
that
he got into it.
Yeah, maybe he had the biggest cows and the biggest like food farm or whatever, some sort of cows or whatever. And the way that he had to figure out some sort of enzyme was to treat the plants with some sort of chemical that the animals would have to eat, because he tried injecting into the cows and they like popped or something.
They blew up.
You know what I mean? Like they got all like disfigured and crazy.
Cow balloons.
Right. And so like he figures that this is like a huge discovery, but at the same time someone created this like meat solution so that they didn't have to kill things and it tastes better, and he loses his mind. But somehow he uses that into the plants or something, and it has a different reaction that when humans eat it.
Do they blow up too?
Ooh.
Because that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. It's like street trash with like, you know.
People just exploding.
Dude, we just high-fived.
Oh my god. That was a bad high five.
Well, whatever.
We have, like, 18
Why are we
microphones
high-fiving?
in the way.
That's so lame.
You initiated.
No, I'm fucking 40 years old, you know.
I'm 27.
Um,
Sorry.
you
Throw that out
fucking
there.
negligent fucking child.
So yeah, but I feel like okay. So the guy needs to get access somehow to it. So I think that he
tries to work for them.
He does work for them. He gets in and he infiltrates on the inside, and then that's how he ends up tainting the entire, like the process of the fake meat stuff. Like that's how he gets in there and gets this pesticide introduced.
He alters some sort of the chemical.
Yeah,
of
he
the
fucks with
plants.
something. Like he gets in there one night and fucks with something, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my revenge," because like his plan is that he just wants it to taste like shit, so people stop eating it.
But
and
it
then
does
they go
some
back
worse.
to meat. But it does something worse, and it ends up making people fucking turn into human balloons and explode.
Yeah, but not like right away.
No, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and
they
then
just start bloating and like swelling and stuff.
yeah,
in,
when's
like,
your
random
pop?
random
Yeah,
areas.
your pop calculator gonna pop?
Yeah.
They go off.
And
you know?
everybody's gonna pop initially in a different spot of their body. Like it affects everybody in a different location.
Right, like maybe it just affects like people at first with like diabetes and like.
Well, the sicker you are, the faster it's gonna.
Right,
affect
somehow
you.
it does something.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like this.
It's fucking cool.
So okay,
The old
so he
people are
works
gonna
at this.
go first.
So he works at this place. Does he become disgruntled, or is he just a hidden crazy man?
No, he's a hidden crazy man because he lost his farm. And
So he
his
is
home.
disgruntled, but I mean,
He's
you know what I mean, not
disgruntled, yeah,
openly
but
disgruntled.
Not openly, yeah.
Okay.
So he lost his. They'll do like a backtracking story or whatever for him, or introductory before it starts, probably, of like them discovering the solution for this meat, and then seeing him kind of losing his farm and his home and everything that he has because of that.
Right.
And so then him being super depressed and obviously like wanting to contemplating probably killing himself or whatever.
Well, maybe that's just his backstory, and you don't know about it.
And then he
till the end. Yeah.
and then he decides that he wants to fix this, and then he goes to work for them.
Okay.
And then you'll have like sidebar moments where it's
Dude,
like,
that's so cool. Just thinking about people popping, like
I know, I'm so excited.
It almost feels like it needs to be a comedy though, because like
It's gonna be a
how are
comedy.
you gonna do it? I'm sorry, guys. Like I know we try to take some of them seriously. We're fucking silly fucks. So
Yeah, we can't be serious all the time.
yeah, we can't be serious all the time. I like my serious movies, but sometimes it's just fun to have. When
I
this
do
isn't
too, but-
exactly the most serious concept. You know what I mean?
It's called The Meat Solution, y'all.
And it ain't about dick,
No.
and it ain't a porno.
It's not a porno. I didn't take the easy way out and make a porn. So no, I wanted to.
Edward Meat Solution,
Oh
like
my God,
whatever the
someone's
fuck.
dick's gonna explode though.
Oh no, maybe why they're
Or
peeing.
fake boobies.
So like, so everybody's using it though, right? Like we'll just say like 80% of the population is using this meat solution now,
Yeah.
and a lot of the population is also working for the companies where they
'Cause
make
it's
this
huge.
stuff because it's
Yeah.
a huge corporation where they like deliver stuff. It's almost like Amazon would be in the future. You know what I mean? Like they've gotten so big that they're starting to be a conglomerate where they like grab onto other stuff.
Yes. I agree.
Okay. So what are the protagonists that we're going to be using in this situation? Does it need to be a police officer? Does it need to be another scientist? Does it need to be someone that works like a janitor or something for the corporation? And what is this corporation called?
Well, I think it would make sense if it was a scientist that figures it out, because they work hands-on with this product every day. So
Here at TMS, we've come up with the meat solution. Like, what would the name of the company be?
that works for me.
TMS, that is. We don't even
Yeah.
care. It doesn't even matter what it stands for.
I liked that because
The meat solution. Yeah.
TMS.
Well, they wouldn't use the T, but just be MS, and
MS
then that's
Corp?
multiple sclerosis, so we can't use
Oh, why not TMS then?
the multiple sclerosis. Or?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so just TMS. Okay, we got it. TMS. Good. I'm
TMS
sorry.
Corp
TMS Corp. So
or Industries.
yeah, right. So they have like a whole fleet of trucks everywhere. They've
TMS
got.
Industries. I like.
They
that better.
even do shipping and delivering, kind of like Amazon would be. Like Amazon's long gone now because this is 20 years into the future. People are popping.
They bought it. Now they have TMS Prime.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, they wouldn't call it Prime.
TMS Primordial.
Prime rib. I was kidding. I'm sorry. That's-
Prime Fib.
Yeah. Oh my God. They wouldn't call it Prime, but it's funny.
Prime
Think about it.
Fib. Oh my God. I love me.
Okay, so what is the antagonist like, or not the antagonist, the protagonist?
The one that like is gonna figure it all out in the end.
Yeah,
one of the scientists.
You think? Seems like an easy grab.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it needs to be somebody that just is like outsider.
So just like a random dude on the street.
It could be. I mean,
It's just
fuck.
like, why are all these people popping?
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't
I'm gonna
eat meat.
suddenly become a scientist and figure this out.
And maybe he doesn't trust the meat, and
He
he's
doesn't
still
trust
on.
the man.
Yeah, I don't
he's a
trust
big
no goddamn
he's
syntho meat.
He's a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
That'll work.
yeah.
They're smart.
You see this tinfoil on my head? That's where I put my real beef, you sons of
Keeps
bitches.
the government's out of my brain meats.
Yeah, maybe he's like a farmer and he's just like hanging onto the dream kind of thing.
Hanging on to the
Like
dream.
for that 10% that want to eat regular meat that have been pushed out. Like,
Or it could be like a super ultra hippie that just like only eats vegetables that
What if,
they
like-
grow in their own fucking garden.
wouldn't it be crazy if like in the future, like people have cows as pets?
I'd have a cow as a pet.
Fuck that.
Cows are adorable.
Yeah, it went until they shit like 10, 20 pounds on your floor.
But I'll have land for them to shit in.
Yeah, but
That's what
I'm just saying if they're a pet, they're probably in the house too, you know?
Well, they can put their head in my house so I can pet them. And then they
Just
can
have a
go
little-
back to their land.
Little moo windows, like
Yeah,
just
moo
like
windows. For moo lighting.
oh my god. Jesus. Okay, so I think it should be just like a random guy, or so it's the guy that worked on another guy that works on a farm, and maybe he meets up with this other guy, but he realizes he's at this like crazy, and maybe that other guy still buys meat from him secretly, even though he works for TMS.
But then it would make it too easy that he'd figure it out. And
So okay, so then fuck that idea. Some
Yeah.
random guy. So the guy that used to have a farm that we don't know this yet in the movie. Like this is his backstory, guys. We figured out his backstory and his modus operandi and why he's decided he came up with. So this is just to recap. This guy we'll call. What do you want to call him?
Tori.
Tori. Okay,
Call him
that's
Tori. That
cool.
does that work?
I mean, it's pretty
It's not real-
androgynous.
That's not really a.
and it doesn't
farmer
have any.
name.
Yeah, it could be any. Doesn't matter what they are.
Tori.
Tori's good with me. So Tori was a farmer scientist who came up with a way to introduce a chemical into plants that the cows would then eat that would plump them up, and he made a lot of money until this TMS company came up with a plant-based meat solution that everyone loves better than beef and steak and all that other shit now. Like everybody loves this shit. So fast forward 20 years later, he was kind of young in his days. Maybe he inherited the farm from his dad or some shit. He's disgruntled secretly, goes into work for TMS because the work has dried up. He doesn't have
It's the
anybody
only
to...
place he can go.
It's the only place he could go. It's one of the biggest companies that everybody works for, like the country, like maybe it's in the United States, like 50% of the people work for the company, maybe 40%, who knows? It's that huge. Anyway, his name is Tori, and so Tori tries to introduce this same chemical that he used to use to directly inject into cows that would make people pop. And for whatever reason, he figured out that you could put it into plants and cows would not blow up because it was something to do with their chemical makeup as a animal or a cow. But when you do it for humans, even if you put it into plants, it causes people to pop and blow up. So Tori is secretly behind the scenes become one of the top scientists there to try to help create a faster way to produce this stuff because they're running out of supplies and trying to grow it fast enough, so they have to grow it faster now. And Tori's the head of this department for growth specialist or whatever the fuck. Like, what do they call them? Plant people, whatever.
Vegans.
Huh? No.
No.
Paleontologist, no, whatever they call
That's
it.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, they're not dinosaurs, so what is it?
Herbologists.
Whatever. He's a scientist.
I could be wrong.
Shut
but
up,
I
guys.
think that's what it is.
We don't have all the fucking... This is something that we figure out in the writing
I
process.
think it's herbology.
Herbologist?
Yeah, it's a herbologist.
Herbivore?
That's who eats
I
plants.
know what it is. I'm just kidding.
Botany.
Botanist.
Botanist.
So he's a botanist of
Fuck's an
some sort of scientist for that in particular. And anyway, so who's the...
No, it's also sorry, it's herbology too. Either one works. Botanist,
Whatever.
herbologist, whatever.
We're not making the movie, guys. All right, just chill the fuck out.
Well, it bothered me. 'cause
Well,
I'm
fuck
like-
you, Brittany.
I'm like, wait, what is it?
Why you gotta make us look dumb? Just kidding.
Make me
Anyway,
look dumb.
I know.
Sucker.
Well, it's not hard.
That's just self-loathing.
I'm gonna go cut myself. Just kidding. I'm sorry. That's really not funny.
That is in bad taste, sir.
Anyway, so there is this random guy who will become the protagonist of this meat thing. Perhaps he somehow has avoided popping. Okay, right? So
Yeah.
why is he not popping? Why, like it's only getting out to a certain amount of things, and they haven't exactly figured out why yet. And they don't even know if it's associated with the meat yet, because so many people fucking use the meat solution from TMS. So they haven't even connected it yet, but somehow something gets figured out, and that kid maybe stumbles upon something. I think a kid would be good, right? Like just a smart kid,
Fine.
Maybe he's like, it's cool to be against the like norm now, like as we're today, we're talking about a world where if everybody likes something, then you have to like it. That's how this world is now. Whereas when I grew up, being independent was valued.
Right.
And whether people like to admit it or not, they're kind of sheep in a lot of ways and follow things.
I miss those days.
Yeah, you know what I mean? When it was cool to be like different.
Those were good days.
Right. Now everybody has to be different so that they're not different anymore.
Right. So then they're the same.
Yeah, so they're all the same. It's like a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So yeah, in the future, everybody appreciates being independent again, and he's kind of like the hipstery kind of guy, and he doesn't want to eat this meat, and he doesn't want to be supportive of it. Maybe he got fired from them and just hates them or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe he saw like the process of what makes it.
Ooh, maybe he's a delivery truck driver for the company. And
that'll work.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's if he was directly involved in some way, and maybe they fucking wronged him.
Maybe they didn't give him a raise or something. They wronged him some way, but he's stealing some of the meat off of the trucks
And reselling it cheaper.
and reselling it for cheaper so he can make extra money.
Yeah.
And that's when his customers, something happens. And he realizes that like two of his customers have popped
That's how
from
he
this
picks
one
up on
box
Yeah.
that has been sorted with it.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, that works.
I like that.
I do too.
Okay. So
That makes it's a good way to have a direct connection, or for him to directly realize what's going on.
right. Like I think that would be a good
So he
idea.
only sells it he just had this one small supply that he stole, and then he sells it to this two people
Okay.
that he splits it up to, and then both these people over like a week. It's time or whatever, just like explode. And he's
Maybe
like, what the fuck? Like
maybe he sells it like I almost like it kind of makes me picture it like he's like some sort of drug dealer
like
almost,
black market non-meat dealer.
Like like meat solution dealer, like
It's like crack.
like people really like it. That's what I'm saying. Like that's hard to figure out because everybody eats it. So because it's not like a variant, you know what I mean? Because it's not wrong to eat it, and it's actually better for your digestive system and all this other shit.
Yeah, there's just all these reasons.
It's like healthier for you
to
eat more than vegetables in some ways because it has some sort of enzyme that like speeds up whatever. Sorry, I'm getting really sciencey, Brittany. Just calm down, all right? Just kidding. So he has two of his friends. He sells like a box of like meat, like the meat solution patties.
name?
What
We
are we
didn't give him a
calling
name
this? Veggie beef?
The meat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Veggie meat? We'll just call it veggie meat. We could call them veggie patties or veggie meat patties. Prime glib.
Prime fib.
What's fib? No, fib means a lie, though.
Yeah, but it's fake.
Yeah, but no
fake
company
and
would
bacon.
name their shit that.
I know, but it's funny.
It is funny, but yeah.
Fake and bacon.
Fake and bacon. That's funny. Anyway, so he delivers like some patties, some veggie patties or whatever the fuck it is that we want to call it, to them. And the guy calls him up. He's like, man, I don't know what you just gave me with my stomach. And he's like screaming into the phone, and people are screaming in the background, and you just hear pop. And then screaming in the background, but you actually see what happens. And the guy's like, what the fuck?
Well, it shows him on the phone, and then you hear the screaming in the background on the phone, and then it pans to the dude.
Yeah.
That's calling him, and then you see his stomach like expanding and expanding and expanding, and him just being like, "What the fuck?" And then it's.
I think it could be cool if it did it in like stages where it's like gets bigger, and then and it gets bigger.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, just like slowly, like not too fast. Like if it just expands, some people do pop fast, some don't. Some like.
I feel like if you're small,
just shit their brains out.
You'd pop faster.
Right. I don't know. I think
you
it's
don't
fun.
have as much like excess.
I don't want to get there. I think it's just different people, different
Different strokes
different
for
reaction,
different folks.
different pops for different folks. Anyway, okay, so dad and his family have eaten these patties. He's affected, but the dad that calls him pops, and the family's all screaming and freaking out. But he doesn't think anything of it. Like maybe he even doesn't even get the call. Maybe he just hears it on the voicemail or something. Mm-hmm. And then he's like out delivering some patties to this other guy from the same batch because he has all these refrigerators at his house where he keeps all this stuff. And he gives it to this other guy, and he gives it to them, and then somehow he's like hanging out with him, and that guy pops somehow. What do you think?
Yeah.
And when they pop, is it green? I can't feel like green.
I like green. Green's a nice color.
Gotta pick a color. You can't just do fucking colored.
Green's a nice color.
You think?
Green or purple?
Okay. Well, no, not purple.
I like green.
I like green. Yeah.
Like acid green.
Yeah, like a seaweed green.
Like xenomorph spit green.
Yeah, and maybe when they pop, they like have plant debris.
That makes the most sense.
Do you know what I mean?
actually,
Like spinach or
like,
something?
The source.
Yeah, just like a big bag of spinach
Yeah,
popping.
and then blood and guts.
Right. It has to have a little bit of both.
Yes.
So okay, so he's hanging out drinking some beers with this guy, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to help you out. He gives him a deal every time. He's like, I'm just hooking you up. I stole these anyway, So whatever you want, man. And he's drinking a beer, and they're like clinking beers, and he just pops. And the beer and the hand
Cheers,
fall.
man.
Yeah.
Oh! Like, and then his hand falls with the beer stein still in it.
Yeah, or maybe
still
he's like he passes out for a second. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna head home," and then he taps his beer, and then it just pops. You know what I mean? Right next to him, and he's got all this green spinach, Popeye spinach, all over his face with like blood and
Kale.
organs and shit. Yeah, exactly. We're not against vegans, by the way, guys, but we're just letting you know it could get out of hand. Okay, so what next, Brittany? You go. Come on, you can do it.
So he's got to like go home, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
He's a little drunk, so he's not really sure if what he saw was actually happening.
And he doesn't want to get in trouble for selling
He
to...
doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to get in trouble or doesn't want to get caught for that. So he's like on his way home, and he doesn't drive.
And that's just an old guy that he's friends with, right? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't have a lot of family or anything.
On his way home, so he's walking or stumbling, I would say.
Yeah, it's dropping spinach everywhere.
Home. Yeah, trying to like wick off the spinach blood and shit that's all over him.
Yeah.
Little bits of
Red and green.
gross like blood and intestines or like whatever. And then I feel like he needs to run into a couple more people like on the street when he's on his way home, because at this point he's just like a little drunk, so he thinks that maybe he didn't really see what he saw, or he was,
Ooh,
like,
what if he gets...
imagining it.
Was someone's trying to rob him?
And they explode on him.
And they start taking the patties, too, and he just gives them to him. He's like, just take it,
take
man.
'em, bro.
I'm sorry, man. Like, it's all I got, but here, take it. And they're like, oh, fuck. They get so excited that they're like, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
And they let him go, but, like, little do they know,
Yeah.
that they're all going to die. So he goes home, and then they're, like, eating and stuff, and then they, like, maybe it comes back to them at some point, and it's, like, some gangster kids, like, whatever, street thug kids. And they, like... Of no color, by the way, just street kids.
They're just street
Yeah.
kids. And then it's like a Last Supper table.
Yeah, like, and they're like
All of them.
partying, like drinking and shit, and they're like, "Dog, man, my stomach hurts, man. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh." And like people just start popping. Like maybe there's a scene where like one of the guys is like running, away as people are popping on both sides
And
of
he
him.
explodes into the
And they're
camera.
like popping like confetti at him as he's like, like at a wedding when they throw rice,
Yes.
kind of like on either side,
Yes.
as he's running like in slow motion, and people are like, "Bro!"
Yes.
It's awesome.
And then he explodes into the camera.
Yeah, there you go. And then he opens the door, and like maybe he's like running out the door, and he pops in front of somebody, and then you just see shit spinach guts just falling from the ceiling and shit. Like, yeah, with one guy like all covered in it.
The one guy who didn't eat his meal yet because he cooked it for everybody.
Yeah, it's, reminds
He's all
me.
got like on a fork, like a piece, and he's like got it hanging out of his mouth, like. And just sets it down.
No, I'm good, man.
And I'm good.
No, but you know what it reminds me of? In Cabin in the Woods, where they're in the lobby, and that piece of like human
fucking
meat just
loved it.
slaps on the ground.
Cracks me the fuck
I
up.
fucking love that. That's so great. Okay, so our guy, we didn't even come up.
I was like, we didn't name him.
We didn't name him. So who's this guy selling meat? What's his name? Bobby.
I was gonna say Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's call him Bobby.
Bobby.
Poor Bob, always alone. No, it's, I'm making a reference to City of the Living Dead. No, but it's Bobby. So Bobby goes home. He's like panicking. He calls like maybe one of his like sister, best friend, girlfriend, what?
Mom.
Mom? Really?
Let's call him his mom.
I feel like he's on his own. Or maybe she's sick or something.
Okay, well, then call his girlfriend, Susie.
Okay, so Bobby and Susie, and Tori is the crazy scientist is making this happen. So he obviously knows, and he goes home and he checks his voicemail message, and he hears the crazy shit in the background, and you hear the message of the dad popping. Yeah. It's got to be some funny way that you could do that, though. That would be really funny, you know? Like, Jesus Christ, like, you're shitting all over the couch, Bob. Oh, my God. So then he hears that and he goes over there, maybe because
Fred,
he feels
why
bad.
are you shitting all over the lazy boy?
Jesus Christ.
Shut up, Mary.
Yeah. And the kids are all like beating on the couch and shit with like toys and stuff. Okay, so he goes over there and he realizes that the whole place is just like covered in spinach guts.
Everyone's dead.
Green and red and guts all over.
Mom.
Green,
children,
red, and guts all over.
Dad.
Yeah.
They're all dead. They've all exploded.
That's going to be the tagline. Green, red, and guts all over.
I like it.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yes.
Spinach,
Kale.
spinach, kale, red, and blood and guts all over. Guts, kale. No, it's got to be guts and spinach and red all over, something like that.
What did you say the first time?
I just like spinach because I think of it as like soggy, wet. Like, have you ever eaten spinach?
Yeah, I love spinach.
Yeah, I do
Kale's
too.
the same.
Well, whatever. Kale just sounds fancy.
It's more for vegans.
Okay, all right,
Appeal to our
Brittany.
hipster audience.
Y'all hipstery.
Kale.
So anyway, onwards with the show. So okay, so like there's reports now on the TV, and he thinks that he's at fault for it somehow or something, and he realizes that he can't eat it, and like he calls his girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just about to go sit down for a fucking a meat solution
dinner.
burger, like a veggie meat." And he's like, "Don't eat it. Don't fucking eat it. Don't fucking eat it. What are you talking about? I'm starving. I just made it. Like, it's cooked up and everything. Do you want to come over?" And he's like, "Don't fucking eat it." He's like, "I swear to you, don't fucking eat it."
And she's just like, oh.
Yeah, and so maybe he goes over there.
Because she's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm hungry. So she just like hangs up the phone, so he rushes over there. And
Right.
stop
She
her.
doesn't eat it.
She should eat it.
I think the dog should get it.
No.
And then the dog pops.
Cat.
No, we already did a
exploding
cat last time, so
well,
it's
then
dog
we're exploding
time.
a hamster.
It's
I
dog
don't
time.
want to explode a dog.
Dog time, baby.
I don't want to explode
Puffy
a dog.
popper.
No.
Puppy popper? Puppy poppers.
No. Pussy pop.
I have a puppy. I love my puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he
him
goes
running all
over
over.
there, and the dog somehow sneaks the veggie meat off of her bun and eats it. And then he's like, "Don't eat it." And she's like, "Wait, where is it?" And then the
Damn it,
dog's like,
Fluffy.
they see a stream of piss across the floor, and like it's like all greenish, like yellow, and then red. And then you just see the pop. Like they go in and they hear it screech and it pops in the kitchen. Hey, man, like, this is the shit, I don't like animal abuse, clearly, but I mean, I fucking love my animal. I would fucking murder somebody for hurting my animal, but it's a fake movie. Yeah?
Poor dog.
Well, would you rather? Yeah, you would probably rather it be a baby.
Yeah.
You murderer.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I think it's funny,
That would
like
be
the
hilarious.
dog pops. And he's like, "Well, let's go look, come with me. We're going to take the dog for a walk." And he goes into the kitchen. Then you see the blood, the green and the red. And then the dog, like, is puffed up on the floor. And it just pops and they, like, dive out. They dive into the living room just to get away from it, or the dining room.
Oh, my God.
And the table breaks or some crazy shit. And she's like, "What the fuck?" What was the dog's name? Let's give it some name. Chunkers or something. Maybe they could make a joke out of it. I don't know. Chucks.
I like
Chucks.
Chucks.
Yeah. Chucks, where you at? Come on, let's go outside, buddy. And they dive It's like this slow thing, and she's freaking out. She's got like kale or spinach on face, whatever. And then so he like explains the story to her. He's like, there's something wrong with the TMS meat, the veggie meat. Like, there's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but 2 of my customers fucking popped on me. And, like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you mean they popped? I don't fucking know. They fucking popped like fucking chucks over here. You know what I mean? And then you see a piece, like they got to have a joke, and then another piece of, like, flesh falls from the ceiling. Or something. I don't know.
His dog collar.
Yeah, just a piece of kale and fucking
His little dog collar. Like, flops down in front of her.
It slides down the wall.
Something.
Okay, so now he knows that it is the TMS, and they kind of meet up with some other people, and they try to fight some of the, like, they try to go into the thing and try to fight this guy, right? We got to end this somehow, but how do we end it? Like, maybe he calls his work and he's like, there's something wrong with the meat. And they're like, what are you talking about? We got another supply going out right now and you're late for work.
Fucker.
Yeah, like, you're supposed to be here. You got a shipment to Indiana. What the fuck are you doing?
In 10 minutes, you're fired.
Right. So he shows up and he's like, look, man, you got to stop. And he was like, there's nothing fucking wrong. I've been eating it all fucking day. And he's like, takes a bite and he's like, see, I'm not popping. What the fuck are you talking about?
And they're just like, blah.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to finish my fucking dinner, and you're going to get out in that fucking truck, and you're going to fucking drive. And he's like, no, man, you're not fucking listening. And he's like eating his sandwich while watching the TV. And then he just starts like getting bigger all of a sudden. He's like, oh, he burps and farts. And he's like, oh, wow, I'm not feeling so good.
I got to take a shit. Gotta drop a log.
Oh my god. Gotta drop a kale log.
I'm gonna drop a kale log.
Jesus. Gotta squirt out a kale log.
I'm gonna go and take a poop real quick.
Kale logs.
And if you're not in that goddamn truck in the next 5 minutes and I'm done dropping the fucking Browns off at the Super Bowl, I swear to fucking God.
Kale logs flakes. Yeah. They're great. All right, anyway. So his boss, Don, pops and in front of him. Or maybe he doesn't pop like right away.
He
like
pops on the toilet.
Yeah, maybe they like try to get him out of the doorway and they can't because he's like expanding so badly. And he like his legs buckle and he's just like not like his like innards are like he's in pain.
His legs should snap.
Yeah, and they're like trying to pull him through the doorway and his arm comes off or something like that. You know what I mean? It just spills out all the like this green red shit, like almost like Play-Doh factory.
Yeah, it comes out the sides of his mouth.
Yeah, it just spills out like cans of spinach and like red water. While he's holding like the arm that's got like a little bit of bone on it that's like kind of melted off a little bit. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I like it.
And then one of the other coworkers, some of the coworkers are like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck is going on? And then you see one guy that's about to take a bite and he's like, he just like someone smacks it out of his hand. What are you, fucking stupid?
It should be him staring at the dude like about to take a bite, and then the dude next to him's like, no. Fucking like whaps it out his hand, like, that's my dinner, bro.
He's like, do you see what the fuck is happening?
Are you
fucking
paying
moron?
attention?
So then, like, maybe, like, it starts spreading into the warehouse, and, like, then the TV's on, like, when he starts to watch the TV, you see a blip on the news. People are starting to panic. They don't know what meat, which veggie meat is good or bad, but they figured out that it's, you know, now it's down to TMS, and, like, maybe, like, the corporate guys are, like, freaking out and maybe, like, you know, offing themselves or jumping out of windows or something.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't know what to do.
They're ruined.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the guy Tori who started all of this,
Mr. Burnsing out. In
yeah,
the
he's
office,
just
like,
touching his fingers.
Excellent.
So they're in the warehouse, and this happens to be the state that they're, you know, the head office is, and they have like the hugest distribution center here, huge farm where they grow these plants and everything like that, and they have a huge tower with a farm out back, and like. It's become a city because, you know what I mean? Like, they own all this land behind it, but they've actually made an industry in a city, you know, after TMS or something like that. a new named city, like even just out in the middle of nowhere. They're just that big. Anyway, so like these like corporate guys are like hopping out of windows. Some of them are trying to like plead with the scientists, like, what the fuck is going on? We need to figure this out, like, immediately. Like, what is infected, what is not infected. And he was like, nothing's wrong. I've tested every sample, and like, and they can't figure it out. Mm-hmm. So what do you do with Tori's character? Like, does he fight the no-name kid, Bobby and Susie?
That's what I was trying to figure out. How do they figure out that it's him?
Maybe he's bumped into him before somehow, or they uncover something where they know it's him, and then he takes his girlfriend hostage. Is that stupid? Yeah, that's pretty typical.
Yeah. Take the dude hostage.
I think it would be kind of funny. Like, have you ever seen the movie Observe and Report?
I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, I fucking movie's funny
It's one of my
as shit.
favorite movies ever.
Do you know how like
Except it ruined the Pixies song.
he's
for
like
me
takes that
forever.
girl, yeah, he takes that girl hostage, and they just shoot him, and it's just like that. Like, that's how Tori goes down, kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they got to get to that situation. Like, they got to figure out, maybe like she or one of the guys that works on the thing, he was like, what about that fucking scientist guy? Maybe he can figure something out. Mm-hmm. So they rush up to the science lab in the building, and they have to like fight off like a security guard and some stuff because they don't have access to that kind of thing, clearly. But they try to get in anyway, and like one of the security guards pops. You know, people are popping in the elevator when they're going up. You know what I mean? Like there's like panic a little bit, or when they're like, yeah, like, I don't know.
Everybody's popping.
Yeah, just it's popping
Pop,
time.
popping away. Pop, pop.
So they make it up to the Tory science level, the science layer.
I like the Tory science level.
And he's just sitting in
Layer of
his office
science.
with like 7 monitors,
Watching
watching
everything.
the chaos and stuff.
Drinking some bourbon.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, I didn't realize. Maybe he confesses
I think
it
he
to
should
them.
confess it to them. Yeah.
Right.
She's like, we need your help. We need your help. Like, they come running in thinking that he can help them.
And he's drunk.
And he's drunk. Yeah, belligerent.
Yeah,
That works.
I think that's a good
He'll out
idea.
himself.
Huh?
He'll out himself. Easy enough.
Right.
And then he tells a story that connects him to why he did what he did and blah, blah, blah. It's perfect.
And then
Actually.
as it's a sad, somber moment, maybe they
They shoot him in the face.
Yeah. No, that would be bad because then they wouldn't have a fucking clue how to fix it. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel
That's
like...
so funny though. God, wow, that's a fucking angry motherfuckers.
Maybe they just shoot him in the dick or something.
Yeah.
They shoot him, but they don't kill him. They shoot him to show him they're serious, that they want to know how to reverse it. And
Maybe a guy pulls a gun on him and then Susie pushes it out of his hand. She's like, "Are you fucking stupid?"
Yeah, we need to know how to cure this.
He's the only guy that knows what the fuck he's doing. We need to sober him up, and we need to figure out how to fix this fucking thing.
Yeah, we need to fix Uncle Rick.
So maybe he comes.
Sober
Maybe he
him up.
works with them at this point.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
but not willingly.
Well, like maybe he's like, I already have something, but I can't get the isotope right or whatever the fuck it is, the enzyme or whatever the fuck it is. I can't get it. I haven't been able to figure out.
Science.
Just in case I were to ingest something like that. Like, why would you make it? Well, because in case I ever ingested it. Like, fuck.
So he could cure himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I needed to make sure.
Himself or someone.
I didn't
he loved.
realize it was going to go out of control, and this isn't really a fucking cure-all. It just, you were kind of like, it's like a needle in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't know. I don't know if it's going to fucking fix anything. I didn't even know it was going to cause this problem when we did it. Like, I knew it was going to cause people to get sick, but I didn't know it was going to make them pop.
Yeah, he didn't think it'd make people explode.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it, my buddy Marty fucking just popped on me. Like, I don't even know.
I watched Marty pop with my own eyes.
It's like blood-sucking bastards. He's like, oh, you popped Mike?
He popped Mike.
Oh, Mike got popped? That shit was fucking great. Okay, so he figures out they like do some science-y montage or whatever, you know, to like try to, you know, and like they inject it into the meat and
Sciencey montage.
yeah, like they figure out that it takes the swelling down or something like that. And they try to inoculate people, like, you know, as much as they can.
Whoever they can find.
Yeah, like they feel like they need some sort of like airborne inoculant that they can just like spray over the fucking thing. So they're trying to figure out this stuff, and they shoot it into somebody, and it's like maybe instead of popping, they like shrink or like implode. Like I don't know what the fuck. Like it wouldn't pop, but what would be another way? Like maybe
burst into flames.
just human spontaneous
combustion.
That would be kind of funny though, right? Like it's ridiculous,
That
but
would be funny.
Oh, great! So now we just
I feel so much.
I feel
Why
really
am
good.
I on fire?
They're all high fiving. They're like, "You are the shit," and he's like,
Fucking fire.
That could just be one of the montages.
Oh
You know
my
what I mean?
God, yes.
Like they get somebody
That's
to
in
come
the
in.
sciencey montage.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
They get some other guy, like some drunk guy who's eating a thing, and he's like expanding, and they inject him with some thing.
Great, you just cooked Steve.
Oh, well, we found a faster way to cook veggie meat.
Anyone want some barbecue, Steve? Anybody? Jesus.
You got a piece of kale in your teeth. I didn't eat him.
I didn't eat him.
Anyway, so
Perfect.
So they find an inoculant. They actually find one that actually works, but something has to go awry a little bit. Like it doesn't have to necessarily cause problems, but there's just so many people that are popped already, like, and they don't know. You know, there is a lot of people still left, but there's just a lot of people that haven't. What would be like another issue that would happen? Like it could be just out of nowhere, like something random.
They grow a head, like an arm out of their head or some shit.
No.
You want like a serious like thing or something that they won't notice until over time, because it could be something that causes like the cure causes infertility amongst everybody.
No, I mean that's way serious. Like it can't be. It didn't have to be that.
Serious,
yeah, that's way too serious. Maybe it's just like, you know, like at the end of the movie, like they inoculate.
Balls just expand.
Yeah, they fix it and they're like, we're spreading out the inoculant to people everywhere, and then that guy gets locked up. You know, like he goes to prison and he's like, oh, that's what I get for saving the world, I guess. You're like, you just killed 30% of the population.
Yeah. Like 80,000 people are dead. Okay.
So, but at the end of the movie, at the very end of the trailer, or not trailer, the credits, I mean, at the very end of the credits or at the very end of the movie before the credits, something happens. What?
His balls just grow and grow, and then they eventually explode.
What if the inoculant causes them to turn into plant people?
Oh, yeah. That'll work too.
I'm not saying
exploding balls is pretty great too.
Right, but their veins start turning like
to a sequel.
Like they start turning black, and it doesn't have to really like explain it, but just something odd happens at the very end.
Yeah, I like that. He could start growing a plant out of his fucking arms or something.
Right.
Or start turning into a plant or kale or whatever.
He's like in a prison of science because like they have to figure he's the only one.
Science
well,
prison.
I don't know. Like the Tory guy like has to help them figure out the enzyme to make sure, you know, they like, you know, they let him off easy and they give him like
can't kill him even though shooting him in the face would have been excellent.
Right, yeah, that would have been really funny. What if it's like a daydream and they show it?
Maybe they just do it at the end.
Dude, in the middle of that part,
they think of doing that.
He thinks of it, and then he's like,
him in the face.
And she yells at him like, "What the fuck are you doing? You just killed the only guy that can save people."
Yeah, and
then he's like, and then it zooms back, and the guy's crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, you fucking idiot! You need to help us figure out, you know." Okay, so what happens at the very end? You see some guy with his veins starting to turn black, and
he starts to sprout little seedlings.
And then he pukes something green. What would that? And then he turns to the camera, and his eyes are like white or something, or it just alludes to something. It doesn't have to be zombies. It's like something different.
His eyes should be green.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a silly movie.
Keeping with the theme, his eyes will be green.
Right. Okay.
His veins are starting to get black and hard.
I mean, guys,
like, what the hell? And then they look at his face, and his eyes are all green.
If we had more time, I'm sure that we could probably like
round this out,
really figure it out. But we've been doing this for about 45 minutes now, and that's about our time limit that we.
It's still a pretty solid idea.
I think it's a fun idea at the very least, you know.
I'd watch it and laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I would definitely watch that. I mean, if it was done right and it was aware of itself,
exploding humans.
I think it could be fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's not going to be, you know, social commentary of the year. It's going to be fucking, you know, ridiculous fucking gore.
It's going to be an excellent B movie.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we can't. There's every taste, every flavor out there, guys.
Didn't make it into a weed.
Yeah, some of it's veggie meat, some of it's not. You know.
Yep. It's not a pot stoner comedy, so y'all
Yeah.
can suck it.
Blues, one of our listeners. Shout out to you, man. Hope you enjoyed this episode. One of our listeners who loves our GravePlots
Yay.
and enjoys it. So I hope you enjoyed that one, man. Yeah. So what the tagline is going to be is green, red, and guts all over.
Yeah.
There's a new meat craze, and it's green, red, and guts all over. Something like that. I don't know. I could make it into something, but the green, red, and guts all over. Something like that, yeah. I think, this is like almost like a Necrostorm story.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys like that story? Do you like the cover that I made up or that I haven't even seen or created yet? I don't even know what I'm going to make. Fucking God knows. I try to go simplistic just to get you interested. So we'll see what the fuck I made. I hope you did a good
Please
job,
put
Alex.
Someone exploding on it.
I can't. That's not easy.
Yes, you can.
It's not. No.
I believe in you.
You know, see, you're setting up
I'm
expectations.
sure you can
and
find a stock photo of somebody exploding.
Oh yeah, because that's easy.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll make it look nice if I can. But guys, sound off in the comments if you would have added, changed, made anything different. We always really do enjoy when you guys write us and let us know. But share with the class, like let everybody know what you think we should be doing, or what we should have changed. Because I think other people are interested in your opinions too. So I want to see them.
Yep.
I want everybody to kind of share it. So if you find any of our Twitter posts or Facebook posts or Facebook group posts or our fucking Google Plus or our Reddit
Anything.
we're on Scary Movies, the subreddit Scary Movies. If you guys haven't even joined that, you should. It's a smaller community, but they're really cool. They're very laid back, and I really like that community. So, but if you guys get a chance, let us know. We would love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, and what you think we should have done better. So, but that's it for GravePlots, guys.
Woo!
So, don't forget, we're going to be doing our flesh and potato segment of Corporate Chaos when we're going to be watching the Belko Experiment and
Mayhem.
So make sure you check those movies out. They're newer movies. They just came out the 2017. Technically, Belko was 2016, but didn't really release into the public until 2017. So we counted as 2017. So second.
So just eat a dick.
But yes, check those movies out. We'll see you this Thursday. Thank you guys so much for coming by, and we'll see you next time.
Stay weird, monsters.
You have been listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in this Thursday for part 2 of Corporate Chaos. Does anybody actually listen to these at the end anyway?